My wife and I are sitting in a really good pair of seats at a Phoenix Suns basketball game back, but just before the Iraq War started, the first one, first Gulf War. And at the end of the first quarter of a highly competitive game, President George W. Bush comes on and he's on the Jumbotron so everybody can see it. Nice politics, NBA. And he started saying, "My greatest nightmare is a mushroom cloud over an American city. So we have decided to unleash our bombers. You know, the only people they kill at these midnight raids are the janitors. Seriously. Usually working a second job to make ends meet for their family. But anyway, he said, we're going there to take out their weapons of mass destruction. And great people like Scott Ritter, who I have the utmost respect for, Scott goes out and he's designated after the war as an investigator looking for the infamous weapons of mass destruction. And you know what he found? He found nothing, jack squat. And he's honest about it. And do you think he appreciated spending years of his lives, his most productive years of his lives, going out and finding nothing on what everyone knew in power was a wild goose chase just to justify the war on behalf of the seven sisters of oil? Well, that's his words, not mine. And he's right. Well, we're going to talk about how this weapons of mass destruction is driving the American economy into the ground, and you are going to pay the price for this, shall we say, bold-faced excuse of a lie for us to be in this war. And we're going to do it right here on the Common Sense Show. Thanks for joining us. I'm Dave Hodges, the host, and we're the show that's freeing America one enslaved mind at a time. Some of my audience has told me, Dave, we've got pretty good distribution of gold, silver. We even have some crypto in waiting. We know it's going to go up, like you're saying, but we want to invest in something that's really can't miss. And you know where I'd really recommend? Go to the oil companies, but getting into it. First of all, most of them are closed for investment. Second of all, the price is exorbitant. So I wanted to give you something here at your request that actually works. And it's the good people at Kirkstone Metals. They're a $10 million company playing in a $250 million industry. Huge corporations that dwarf them, but they're mining uranium. We have a 98% deficit in uranium. It's needed for high tech and military. The price has more than tripled in the last 9 years. It's going to go up maybe tenfold, 20-fold because we need it and we're not getting it. And so we got to mine it and we got to develop it right here on this continent. So Kirkstone Metals has two 100% owned Athabasca Basin uranium projects. Now is the time to get involved to be an investor. This is a can't miss project. In fact, the U.S. government's telling you that because the Department of Energy put $2.7 billion into the project. Wow. There's commitment from the government. And so, the crypto is going to go up for the same reason. Whatever the government's putting its money into, like this uranium project, it's going to skyrocket. So what I want you to do right now is go watch a free video. No pressure. It'll educate you in a way better than I can being a layman. Go to ksm-presentation.com/the common sense show. Again, that's ksm-presentation.com/ now here's a catch, the dot dash common dash sense dash show. So ksm-presentation.com/the common sense show with dashes between the common sense show words. This is a great opportunity, folks. Take me up on it. Let me know what you think after you watch the video. Send me a message. But I think this is a can't miss opportunity. And we're going to look for a couple more of these for you as well. Anyway, on to what we want to talk about here. The weapons of mass destruction excuse. We've heard it. It's kind of like the lone nut assassin. As we look into things, it's never lone nut. It's an assassination with more than one person. This kind of fits this too. Weapons of mass destruction. Let me take you through the history and show you. In fact, I'm saying this to a family member. I just don't buy this excuse. Well, they're saying it on Fox News. It's weapons of mass destruction. Okay, well, let me just say one thing before we jump in. I said this yesterday. It bears repeating very briefly. We didn't even try diplomacy. We tried briefly being a bully. We didn't roll out the red carpet, treat the leaders with respect, and say, hey, look, we can't let you have this. Now, how about we stop the terrorism? Let's do trade together. Let's benefit each other's nation. We're not going to interfere in your politics. You don't interfere in our politics. That was not done, and it should have been done. Okay, now we went straight to the war option, and it's wrecking our country, all because of weapons of mass destruction. Now, I'm going to say something here that should piss you off. Donald Trump was asked immediately after the conference was over, and they're on Air Force One coming back home, and they said, Mr. Trump, are you concerned about what the war effort is doing to the economy and the pocketbooks of Americans? And he said, no, I have no concerns about that. We can't let Iran have a nuke. He just told you you don't matter. And this is after the campaign promises of no war and prosperity for all, right? Yeah. Famous last words, right? But you know what's interesting before I go into this list of excuses? Doesn't North Korea have a nuke? I think their leadership qualifies for being equally corrupt and dangerous as Iran. Uh, Pakistan, they threaten to nuke India seemingly every other day. Israel, they have nukes. Why can these nations have nukes and Iran can't? I'm not advocating for Iranian nukes, but do you see the hypocrisy in the position? Exactly. So let's get down to the history. Let's start with 1984. Oh, what an appropriate year to talk about, right? Okay. We were told, hey, we got to really watch Iran. They're 5 to 10 years away from having nukes. We need to send more aid to Israel. That was the excuse for that. 1987, they're 10 years away. Same excuse, send military aid to Israel. 1989, they're 10 years or less away. Okay, so in 5 years, they went from 5 to 10 to 10. I guess they went backwards. Maybe they lost the nuclear socket. 91, they're 5 to 10 years away. 92, they're 3 to 5 years away. The year 2000, they're 3 to 5 years away. 2010, they're months away. Oh, we're getting closer now. Now we're getting warm. So after 26 years, we've gone from 5 to 10 years to now they're months. Okay, well, they're making progress, I guess. In 2012, they're weeks away. Oh. 2014, it's imminent. Any day now. 2015, 3 months away. 2023, they're days to weeks away from having a nuclear weapon. In 2025, before we bombed them in June, they're, they're days away. But then afterwards, we obliterated them. We won. We're the good guys. Us and Israel. Wonderful. We bombed those facilities into the Stone Age. Okay, well, that was 11 months ago. Now we're being told in 2026, they're days away. And we're supposed to believe this hypocrisy, this sorry excuse for a war. You see, you're hurting, but the oil companies aren't. They're still getting enough gas and it's going up. And guess what? They tack on a little extra. We know that. Remember when Kuwait was invaded by Iraq? And I think gas was like $1.70, $1.80 when that happened, and it went up a whole $1.20 by the end of that day. I'm driving up and down 6th Avenue in Aurora, okay, going back and forth to the gym, going to see a friend. And every time I passed the same gas station, the price had gone up 20, 30 cents. It's a racket, people. You're being conned for money. And even if they developed a nuke, you got the threat of a tactical to take it out where the damage is contained. And I'm not advocating the use of tactical nuclear weapons. I'm opposed to all nuclear weapons. But I'm just saying we have the lever. And I'm so tired of these same sorry excuses. So 1984 to 2026, do your math. That's 42 years of the same crap. The same sorry excuses to excuse military intervention into the Middle East at the behest of the Seven Sisters of Oil that are making money hand over fist, not to mention the military industrial complex. And right now, we're facing shortages this summer. Not Dave Hodges saying it, it's regular big time economists like Ray Dalio, okay, right? Biggest hedge fund guy ever. He's saying it. Kiyosaki's saying it. Go on and on and on. Lynette Zhang has been critical. So anyone that we have respect for, and there's a lot of them, they're all saying the same thing. We're headed for rationing. We're headed for shortages. We might have roving blackouts in our future. And that's a hell of a thing to do to people that live in Phoenix where it could be 115 degrees. But as long as they have electricity for the data centers, that'll be okay. Have you had enough? Well, you know what to do in the election, right? Just hit the reset button. Don't need to do anything crazy. We're not Antifa. We're not going to be in the streets doing this or that. You just vote in such overwhelming numbers, it's too big to mess with. Don't give up on the system because right now the system's the most practical way we can get changes. And I'm just going to go back to Tiananmen Square. Good Chinese people stood up against extreme tyranny, and look what happened to them. I'm telling you, I don't think it'll be much different this time around. This is not the answer. The answer is let's give the ballot box another chance. But we got to do it in mass. Hey, John, you voting? No. Hey, John, we got to. We got to. The problems we're having right now is because we have irresponsible government. And oh, by the way, they still get to do their insider trading. They'll send you to prison, right? And they get free health care for life, free retirement for life. They only have to serve, what, 2 terms? Do you get that? Exactly. We need term limitations. We need to cut out all foreign donations to our politicians, no corporate donations, campaigns only from the people with limitations. So it's truly a government of the people, by the people, for the people. See, these are easy solutions that we could all identify with. They're easy to communicate to people. The message is simple. You don't have to be any more than a sixth grade graduate to understand this, but you got to get off your duff and you got to go vote. But you got to pay attention. That's why I'm saying take this and please spread it. Toss them all and do something with it. TossThemAll.com. Let's go crazy, metaphorically speaking. We'll see you back here next time. I'm Dave Hodges.